Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you lot here. Welcome EastEnders fans. So can new showrunner Kate Oates, whose episodes we won't see till February 2020, can she reinvigorate, can she save the Carters? Because they've been a lame duck for years. When Danny Dyer, I nearly forgot his name, when Danny Dyer joined the show, for the first 6 months, he was saying joining EastEnders was like a retirement plan. And of course it was, Danny, because you don't have to do anything. You're never pushed. You're never challenged. When he first came, he had this great storyline with Shirley, because the big secret was Shirley was his mum. And I loved that. And I loved the storyline that Dean was his brother, Dean raping Linda. The only thing that worked with that rape storyline, because the Linda rape story just came too soon because we didn't know her. She wasn't integrated with the audience yet. So although I would care whoever was raped, of course I would, I'm not a monster, in character terms, if you compare it with Kathy's rape, she was an integrated character. And that rape storyline was done so well, it was so powerful, it really did feel it was happening to someone you knew, someone you loved, someone you cared about. And it wasn't the same with Linda. So the element of obviously Dean and Mick being brothers really did help that situation. So apart from that, that storyline never worked. And since then, really, the Carters have been a lame duck. And you can't have characters that run the Vic, that are in the Vic, being so lame. The Vic is one of the major elements of EastEnders, and it always has been for over 30 years now. So what can Kate Oates do with that family? I think primarily she is going to focus on Linda. Linda will be her focus, and she'll really try and develop that character, because I think Dominic Treadwell-Collins got her wrong from the beginning. This whole thing about her being patriotic, being a royalist, didn't help anything, because 3/4 of the audience don't like the royal family. I'm sorry, but it's true. So making a character you're trying to integrate into this, this new character who actually runs the Queen Vic. You can't have a character like that where people are thinking, she's a royalist, she's putting Union Jacks up, she's got like T-shirts of Lady Di and stuff like that. We all loved Lady Di, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't work. So she's really going to have to re-establish that character, or it's just not going to work. In case of Mick, it's a problem because of Danny Dyer. What can you really do? I think the only thing you can really do to make him interesting is to keep Stuart around and make him a more darker character. He could end up being Kate Oates, Cameron from Emmerdale. He could really be that serial killer. Now, there's a lot of people who'll be going, oh, Kate Oates, serial killer again. Look, I know, guys, but primarily, I can't even say my words. Primarily, I can't say the word, forget it, right? But basically, you need a dark element here, because what is Dyer going to do? Now, I do feel that maybe Kate Oates may want to split Linda and Mick up, and I think it would be a really good idea if they split up. So maybe either Linda or Mick just move away from the element of the Vic and, join characters they haven't mixed with before, just to make them look, even if they're not, more interesting. And then maybe Linda can stay in the Vic and run the pub, and maybe they can find her a new romantic foil. This is what I would do, just to make the character more interesting, because at the moment the Carters are one-trick ponies, because we're supposed to believe they're this brilliant family, this close-knit family, and for me it just doesn't ring true. And I really do believe that something really dramatic has to happen to change that family, or they have to go. She's been pretty honest in saying as much as the Carters are hanging around, they're going to stay in the Vic. EastEnders will go back to dealing with social issues other soaps don't deal with. That's very interesting as well, and very exciting, by the way. But I think absolutely they're really going to have to do something with the Carters, or, well, this is the thing for me. Even though she says they're staying around for the foreseeable, a new showrunner comes in, there's contracts that they get to expire. You have to run down those contracts. You have to give the characters and the actors something to do. And she has to you can't ignore the Carters because they're in the central point of the whole show. So this is the challenge that she's got. What do you do with Dyer? What do you do with Kelly Bright? I mean, I feel sorry for Kelly Bright because Dyer's been riding her coattails for as long as they've both been on the show. And I mean, we saw them come in as a big family, the Carters. The son's gone. Both sons have gone. The daughter's gone. They didn't really work out. Otherwise, they'd still be there, wouldn't they? I mean, I don't see Danny Boy Hatcher doing much on TV anymore. I did have an argument with him one day on Twitter. I do have arguments with a lot of blue tick because I'm big mouth and I'm outspoken and people don't like honesty. Look, people in this industry only like you if you're licking their backside. But if you're being direct and straight with them, I'll tell you the truth. Someone was talking about him getting an acting award. I did a laughing emoji. I didn't realise he was tagged in the conversation. He goes, what do you know? A writer who's no one's ever heard of. All right, son, wind it down. Oh. And I quote tweeted him and I said something. But the problem is, this area of EastEnders, this down point, this low point, this mediocrity, which has been going for over 10 years now, is a problem. And people like me, and a lot of people like me who are passionate about this show and want to see this show get back to what it was, because what it was is what it should be, get frustrated, and we do act out sometimes. And we speak our minds, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I knew he was tagged in that conversation, of course, I would never have said anything. So basically, you could see a situation where maybe Kate Oates gets Stuart to kill Mick off. So, which would make Linda a widow, and maybe Stuart and Linda get together for a little time. He helps her run the Vic, or something like that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Stuart. There's something I know there's something off with the character, because obviously what the character is. But there's just something that just doesn't work with that character. And maybe Kate Oates can make that character a little bit more interesting. So, let's see what happens. I'm really excited that Kate's joining the show, running the show. It's going to be a new era. She wouldn't have come on board if she couldn't do what she wanted to do. So I hope this is not another false dawn. Hopefully we get into fourth gear straight away and we give this show what it needs. So the question is, can Kate Oates save the Carters? I think she can. But I think she will kill off Dyer. When his contract's up, she will get rid of him. I'm really, really certain of that. But she's not going to start coming in at press conferences and saying, yeah, Dyer's crap, I'm getting rid of him. His contract's got to run down. She'll make the decision. And as we know with soaps, things are announced really quickly because of PR and marketing. So we'll know what's going to happen. But if I was to make a prediction here, I think Dyer's toast. When his contract runs out, she'll kill him off and she'll make that exit a building block to make Linda a more accessible character. And I think we really do need Linda to be a more accessible character, because Kelly Bright, he's been in the industry, has been in TV for so many years, and she's had so many great performances. And for me, because of the writing, we've not really seen Kelly fulfill her potential on the show.